I've been writing pretty consistently since the sixth grade, maybe the seventh grade. It was definitely middle school, and it was definitely because the teacher said, "You're kind of good at this," and apparently that stuck in my head. My exact medium is pretty cyclical. I started with short stories and then jumped to NaNoWriMo. I did a lot of fiction throughout high school. There is no longer evidence of what I would have called my magnum opus between Isochronal, the Clock Tower Sphinx, or One Degree, which was this multi generational sprawling story of 12 different characters across the globe and time, culminating in a brawl against a self insert that was the American Time God. As it turns out, I found out later after writing the script that I do in fact have evidence of these buried in my email, but that's neither here nor there at this point. There was a stint with poetry. They say as though they weren't a slam poet for several years and incidentally instrumental in solidifying the button poetry live streaming empire. And then there was a short stint with TV scripting and comic scripting, which were actually short, before settling into my current niche of pop culture journalism and assorted blogging. I also ended up as a professional technical writer. That also matters. It all matters. I pride myself on being good at what I do. This is a recurring theme, a resounding refrain. We are good at things because we put in the work to be good at those things. Take interviewing. So, one of my first opportunities at Black Nerd Problems was an interview with Ben Percy, which went fine outside of the fact that my office is a accidental Faraday cage and I had to take the call outside in the heat and the wind, and it completely ruined the audio quality. So I had to rely on my poorly scrawled notes drenched in sweat, and I took the opportunity in stride, and I developed protocols and systems for interviewings going forward. I found better recording setups. I hired a friend to do my transcription. I prepped questions even farther in advance and constantly iterated. I looked at the final write ups and asked, did I do enough? And if I made the process interesting for me, the subject, the reader, if I may, gotta love reading your own writing and realize that you don't prove at all. But I made the process interesting for me. The subject, the reader, I got good at it. I got asked to do more interviews. I successfully managed interviews in new formats. I got good at making scripts. I got good at pivoting on the spot at the ebb and flow, the push and pull. When I told my therapist about my habit to script out conversations, they are the ones that called it a superpower, which makes sense. It's something I know how to do as easy as breathing, a thing that I am good at, a thing that I can rely on, a thing that I have become reliant on, a thing like many things that needs to be recontextualized every so often. Scripting is useful insofar if you're able to change the script. Scripting a superpower so long as you allow for the script to change. Scripting a wayfinding tool to imagine the path. Scripting a coping mechanism to avoid the path. I am the type of writer, the type of person really, who gets really fixated on things, really set on determined, lockjawed, and narrow-eyed. I feel this. I know this. I have come to understand this. And when the script does not get revisions, it is not a good script. The script has to change. The script is not actually a script, and maybe that's the lesson here. The script is an ideation, and what is actually said is what matters more. I write these videos out before I record them. I change them as I read them. As it turns out, I am particularly verbose and prone to typos and mistakes, but perhaps that's the charm. It's not like I'm doing this for anyone else but my own entertainment, and I guess yours, but I'm already far past any reasonable word count to rediscuss the offer, audience, allowance, aim paradigm. So, anyways, happy August. Tune in next month for something.